Hello, people. It's your boy Ambassador again doing his thing. As usual, I just come here to talk about some of these trending videos, social issues we're having right now, and also just to check to get you to give your opinion about some of these things. And then I just want to talk about a number of these things are related. So in some other videos, I'll talk about the failure of the media, the failure of our policies, and in some videos, I'm going to dive deep into the media and then look at what is wrong with the media. Another video, I'll look at our religion system. Another video, I'll look at our medicinal system, our educational system. In some videos, I'll talk about all of them just like items. So if that makes sense. So now to look at what I term as shame on the African media or shame to the African media.
You really need to stop this superiority complex nonsense about human rights. You think you are the only ones who respect human rights, or others it's about violating human rights. No, we've fought for human rights and freedoms of our people much better and more than anyone, including you people who keep talking about this nonsense. Where we have taken our country from and where it is now speaks for itself. The rest of the stories just comes from this complex. You know, these two worlds where there are people who know anything, everything about human rights and all kinds of things, and another world where people are just people who don't know. But these are our human rights. It's not, when we respect the things we respect in our countries, it's not for you, it's not for anybody else, it's for ourselves.
Is it not
So
universal?
you don't sit
right.
there. Yes, it is universal, but you don't sit there. If it is universal and you believe it, then you don't become the judge yourself. You don't start telling the others what to do, what they should not to do, or that what they are doing is not to your satisfaction. Who are you?
Now, when I say shame to African media, who is African media? It's us. In terms of I'm on YouTube, I'm part of the media, informally. They are the journalists, they are the TV stations. But African media as a whole has no, should I call it, no strategy. They have no vision of what they're trying to do, no narrative they're trying to push. We just swing with the wind. Some of these are stations, it's just like when CNN relays something, it's now breaking news, they are just following it. Forgetting that CNN might have an agenda, and that's why at times when I'm watching news like right now, I'll watch RT, is it RTV, which is like Russian, Al Jazeera, then I watch CNN or BBC. It gives me what I call a balanced diet of media consumption. Because I know that all of these people have their agendas. By the time I watch all of them, I can now come out with a more balanced opinion. If you watch just CNN and you watch maybe Al Jazeera, you're seeing two different things. The same war is happening maybe in Gaza. This one is saying that how can this person be so devilish in that, but that same person is trying to save the people. So everybody has their agenda, and you cannot blame them for that. That being said, my first question when I look at the African media, who is funding activities in our media? Most of the time, it's not Africans. It's foreign investors who are expanding, like you see Trust. Trust is French. You see Trust Africa. Trust Africa cannot be African. It's French. You see MTV Base, you see MTV Africa. It cannot be Africa. You see BBC, then BBC Africa. That cannot be Africa. Or you see RTF, is it RTF? And then you see the same thing in France, who bring Africa version. It's not African. So as long as they are the ones funding our media, then the local media houses are now relaying what they are saying. They are pushing their own agenda for their interest, and that's what we are just consuming. Secondly, what are our leaders doing about this? I made this comment, I was reacting to the issue of Dangote, where I was saying that Dangote is not just a man, Dangote is an institution. And Dangote, as the institution, should start to understand that it needs to move as an institution, where it lobbies for things. It also fights for interest which is bigger than just the company's interest. Because it's in fighting for the people that whenever things are done against Dangote, the institution, the people will stand up for Dangote, the institution. But if you're just fighting for your business and yourself, then when something is done against Dangote, what concerns me then? It's your problem. I have my own problem. But that's not so good because Dangote as an institution employs hundreds and thousands of people, and then but I mean like first level of employment, second level of employment, and lots of people, like from those who are in the cement company to those who are selling cement. It's thousands of people benefit from those things. So it's an institution. So if Dangote is not strategic to know that they should fund 1 or 2 media houses so that they can push their narrative there, when the government is against Dangote, those media houses start to bombard the unfairness of the government, interview only people that can give facts why the government is trying to intimidate or oppress Dangote. At that time, nobody will fight for Dangote because there's no media house which stands for Dangote's interest, because you have not been funding media houses. So when I say what are our leaders doing, also the politicians, if you are leading a movement like the one in Burkina Faso and you're not funding a media and others are funding it, it's the media houses that will be pumping information to the masses to tell them that this man is a dictator, this man is this man is that. And the day when, let's say, foreign forces come to take you down, it'll be easy for your people to cooperate with them because they already have in mind that you're a dictator. So what are we doing about our media? I also mentioned what the corporate were doing. Dangote is the corporate world. They are the political leaders, they are the corporate leaders. Both of them have to support our media, pushing their own agenda and narrative so that it's for our benefit. But we are just waiting on foreign agendas and narratives to be pushed in our system. Then we are just all, even the African is brainwashed to the point where they're now fighting for foreign interests and they don't even know. Okay. Lastly is, what is the present audience? We should be very aware of what our, should I call it, demographics are. The youthful African population, what is their level of education? Where do they rank, let's say, the Maslow pyramid? Are they at the level of trying to think about ideals and policies, or at the level of just their basic survival needs? Based on all of these questions I have asked, you can now know how to start coining messages or pushing agendas through the media to this audience. But if you don't even know, you might just be pushing the wrong message to the wrong people and it will be of no use. And lastly, I think we also need to use the internet to level the playing field. So I may not have money to compete with CNN, but I can make a viral video that will be more viral than any CNN content in the next 1 week by just using the internet and YouTube. That's what I mean by we can use technology. We don't have money to fight with them, but we can use technology to push our own narrative out there and our own agenda as much as we want. We just need to be very intentional about those things. I'm using some of these words very, very, should I call them, my choice of words have a lot of meaning to them. Choices like intentional, focused, narratives. Those are the things which we should be thinking about on what am I pushing. So with that being said, I feel like all of our leaders, all of our youth should start thinking about what's our media really standing for. I can clearly tell you what CNN, that's why I mentioned CNN or BBC. Those two guys, their agenda is similar. Then I put Al Jazeera on its own side. Then the Russian guys, the RTV guys, the agenda is different. So what is our African agenda? I don't even know. I don't even know the media house that standing for African agenda. The Grand Frère Alain Foka just launched a media house. In one video, I'm going to take time to just talk about this media house, maybe not now, because I think we should put our money where our mouths are. And we have been talking about Africans taking charge of the narrative. When someone like Alain Foka is trying to do this now, that's why I said I will talk later on. I don't know who is funding it, but when I'm sure that it's really something which is for the African people, I'm going to talk about it. But as for now, just comment about what you think about our media and what African media stands for. As usual, it's your boy Ambassador Amar.
Just my opinion.